The Buddhist sermon for today is given by the Venerable Baragama piyarathana Thero.
Namo tassa bhagavato arahato samma sambuddhassa. Namo tassa bhagavato arahato samma sambuddhassa. Namo tassa bhagavato arahato samma sambuddhassa. Homage to the fully enlightened one, worthy one, the blessed one. Dear friends in Dhamma, today we are celebrating Posen FUll Day. Posen FUll Day is very important day for the Buddhists in Sri Lanka, because we received new civilization, new way of life, and fresh start for Sri Lankan history. As we are aware of the arrival of we consider Mahamahinda Thero, the son of the Emperor Asoka, as our second Buddha, because he and a retinue of monks arrived to Mihintale, a mountain which is quite closer to Anuradhapura, and at that time the ruling king was Devanam Piyatissa, and he went on a hunting expedition in that area, and he came to see the Arahat Mahinda Thero and his group of monks. And these monks gave a small chanting or small recitation in Pali, and king began to interact with these venerables, and venerables Arahat Mahamahinda Thero asked few questions and confirm the higher IQ level or higher intelligence. So after that, Mahamahinda Thero preached Dhamma, and he became disciple of the Buddha, disciples of the Dhamma, disciples of the Sangha. He took the refuge. From that day onwards, Sri Lankan culture, Sri Lankan way of thinking, Sri Lankan traditions totally changed. King became very righteous, and he gave up hunting tradition, and instead he began to follow the 5 precepts. And not only that, his queen and all the ministers, all the people in this country became Buddhists. So, and we received Srima Bodhi tree, and Mahameuna garden was offered to the Sangha, to the community of Sangha, and Buddhism was firmly established in Sri Lanka. Since then, we have inherited enormous amount of values, technologies, and other kinds of things through Indian influence and through India. So we must be very, very grateful to Arahat Mahamahinda Thero and the group of monks who visited Sri Lanka to establish Buddhism. So we Sri Lankan must be very proud, because even Buddhism disappeared from India, and now it was still continuously protected in Sri Lanka. It is our duty to continuously protect and spread the peaceful and beautiful message of the Buddha to the world, to the other Sri Lankans who don't have good understanding of the Dharma. So with that note, I would like to discuss about 5 hindrances in Buddhist teaching. Hindrance itself has the meaning something that obstruct or something that become a kind of a obstacle, barrier. So in Buddhism, there are 5 hindrances. It's called kamacchanda, vyapada, thina-middha, uddhacca, kukkucca and vicikicca. Kamacchanda means the sensual desire. And vyapada means anger, hatred. And the thina-middha is laziness, sluggishness, mental no energy. And the scattered nature of the mind is called uddhacca. And the vicikicca is called doubt. So these 5 hindrances are obstacle to any person's path to progress. We have 2 paths of progress. One path is called spiritual path of progress. That is leading to cessation of all the defilements and eradication of all the defilements. And the second path of progress is the worldly progress we are trying to achieve day-to-day life. Everybody in the world, every human beings, prefer to have a better, nicer, beautiful form of life. They don't want to have a suffering or kind of downfall in their life. So if we want to have a better life standard, we need to overcome these 5 obstacles, these 5 hindrances that hinder or obstruct our path of progress. One Brahmin called Sangarava asked from the Buddha. The Brahmin tradition was as such, they were used to learn the mantras, Vedas by their heart. So they can recollect and remember and chant by memory through their memory. So this is the great tradition they have. But he told the Buddha, even we learnt and practiced and remembered so many Vedas, sometimes they are forgotten. It's not easy to trace back in our memory these memories we have put into our mind. Why is that? Buddha said these 5 hindrances weaken our wisdom, weaken our knowledge, weaken our memory. So when we have sensual pleasures, the desire to enjoy sensual pleasures, human beings and all beings are beings who are running after, going after these sensual pleasures. This is major part of our day-to-day way of thinking. Nobody can escape from this because we have become slaves of pleasure. We want pleasure all the time. We reject, we refuse, we don't want to experience any pain. What we want is only pleasure, happiness, and pleasant experiences. We don't want any unpleasant experience. But in a world we are living, we cannot experience only one end or one side of the life, and we cannot reject the other side. There's a duality. Happiness, sadness, all this duality is there. But if we are too attached to sensual pleasures, it is a hindrance. Because you cannot concentrate. You are longing for it, you are longing for it, you have a great desire for it, because you cannot take your thought process, your emotions out of it. You entirely become a slave or kind of a subject to these kind of thoughts, and you don't have no other world, only this kind of thoughts. For example, if a student is studying and looking at the book, parents and the people who are looking at him, they might think, oh, he is a good student, he is studying very well, he's nice. But in fact, he is looking at the book, but recollecting in his mind, thinking about in his mind about something pleasurable, something he likes, maybe some games or some person about the opposite sex or something like that, or some music, or kind of these thoughts are going on and on, but while looking at the book, his mind is not in the book, his mind is somewhere else. And this is a great obstacle for a person who is studying. He cannot do well in his exam, he cannot remember what he is learning because his mind is far away from the book. That is why Buddha said, this weakens our memory. So in order to gain a better memory, we need to have a higher level of concentration, good level of concentration. Otherwise, if you don't have a higher level of concentration, it is very typical. It is very hard for mind to catch these points and mind to get these understanding, go into permanent memory in your mind. We have short-term memory in our mind, we have long-term memory in our mind. So these short-term memories will turn into long-term memories when your mind is concentrated, when your mind is not running away from the object of your studies. So, in order to stay in your object of studies, you need to have very good level of concentration without too much attached to sensual pleasures. So, we gain sensual pleasures through eyes, nose, the body, the tongue, and the mind. These are the 5 sources we get the pleasant experiences. So Buddha gave a very beautiful example. If you are looking at water, clear water, there's no muds, nothing, so clear. So ancient days, people didn't have mirrors so much available to poor people. They used to look at their face through the water, and if there's something on their face, they will make it nice by looking at the water. But if this water is colored by, let's say, red dye was put into this water, or yellow, green, or any kind of dye is mixed with this water, you cannot see the face. So if your mind is deluded with the sensual pleasures, cannot see the mind clearly. So this is a very danger, this is a very obstacle for a person to study well. Not only that, these absorptions, when you have these hindrances, they will obstruct the path. If you are a good meditator, you want to attain the absorptions, jhanas. This is also obstacle for jhana. If you want to attain the even higher levels of spiritual development, such as stream entry and the second levels of enlightenment, sotapanna, sakurdagami, and you cannot reach those levels because your mind is colored by these sensual pleasures. You cannot clean or clear the defilements in the mind. Then the second defilements or hindrances that hinder your life is the anger. We always get angry for many reasons. One is what we want. If we are not getting what we want, we will get angry. We get frustrated. We get disappointed and upset. So we will get anger. So when you have anger, it also disturbs your balance of your mind. Equilibrium of your mind is disturbed when anger is overpowered. Your mind, in your mind, anger live in your mind, rooted in your mind so deeply, you cannot see clearly your thoughts and thinking. We call it vyapada. Vyapada has different way of thinking. Buddha says 10 agata. You will get anger because your enemy make you angry or make you dislike that person by doing envious and things which make you upset and angry in the past, in the present, and in future. Similarly, this enemy has caused damage and caused difficult situations to your friends, relatives, in the past, in the present, in the future. And also, the anger arises, you see that your enemy is helping some of your enemies. So then you also get anger. And then there's a instant anger also. For example, if you are walking on the road, something hit your feet, you will get angry. And if you are eating, you come across with a small stones or sands in your meal, you might get angry. So anger can arise any moment. It's like a cobra trying to bite another being or another animal with anger. Anger arises very quickly, and sometimes it lasts for a long time. So while you are angry, if you try to concentrate, if you try to study, if you try to drive, if you try to do something, it's impossible, almost impossible, because you don't have balance. So this is also a hindrance for us. Then the third hindrance is called thina-middha. It's called laziness, mental sluggishness, inactivity in your mind, and not enough energy in your mind, so that you become so lazy. The anger was given similes by the Buddha, like something like boiling water, and if you want to throw a boiling or burning coal or burning iron ball to someone, and it will hurt you. So similarly, if you have anger, it's something like that. Then the third one is thina-middha, laziness. Buddha gave example. It's like something you have on the water, you have some plants. So you cannot see the bottom of the pond or the bottom of the container, water container. So similarly, if your mind is filled with laziness, you cannot do anything. So people will postpone many things. I will do it tomorrow, next week, next month, next year. So this procrastination, not doing right now, because in reality we have right now only. The future and the past are only memories or concept in the mind. So what we have to do it just now, right now. Buddha said, Ajjeva kiccang atappang. You must do it today itself. Who knows whether we will die tomorrow or next moment. So we need to do things right now, here, instantly, quickly. So not forget and postpone things. It is our nature to postpone things and not to make effort. Buddha said we need to create energy in our mind to overcome the mental sluggishness, mental inactivity. And Buddha said that we need to have 3: initiative energy and continuous energy, and until we reach our goal, we need to continue our energy in order to overcome this uddhacca, this thina-middha. Then the fourth one is uddhacca kukkucca. This is called kind of mind is scattered around. Mind is not concentrated, restless. Nowadays, children and everybody is restless because we have too many duties one hand, and not only that, we have too much information. So this too much information in the media, in the social media, and in the especially children are playing games and all that. These things cause enormous amount of restlessness in the people's mind, in the children's mind. So they cannot concentrate, they cannot study well, they cannot learn well. So we need, in such situations, we need meditation. Meditations will be very helpful. Perhaps if your mind is very restless and scattered, maybe you can take few deep breaths and just relax your body and the mind, so that you can give new rejuvenation to your mind and the body. So the mental sluggishness or the restlessness is not good thing, and we have to overcome it. Then the last one is this doubt. This doubt has two aspects. One is self-confidence. If you don't have self-confidence and you don't have any kind of understanding about your weaknesses, your responsibilities, your difficulties, and if you don't concentrate yourself, and if you lose self-confidence, you cannot do anything. So Buddha said proper attention, yoniso manasikara, is very important, so that you can understand you are in doubt, you are indecisive, and you need to take a decision. So you need to place a lot of confidence in yourself. Then the second kind of doubt you are having is buddhe kankati. You doubt about the Buddha, his teachings, and his disciples, and the teachings of the Four Noble Truths and Eight Noble Paths. So this kind of, and the doubt about the past, doubt about the future, these kind of 8 kinds of doubts are explained in Buddhism. Therefore, friends, in Buddhism, it is very important to understand that 5 hindrances will arise in our mind daily basis. Every moment we might have one of them. So we need to develop one meditation called chittanupassana. Chittanupassana means you will develop watching your own thoughts. By watching your own thoughts, you can understand. The first step to face these 5 hindrances is to be aware, continuously aware. You aware in the present moment what is going on in your mind. If you can aware that, okay, in my mind now I have sensual desire, then you can make effort to overcome it. Okay, I have the anger in my mind, then you can make steps or take steps to avoid or destroy or to get rid of these angry thoughts. Similarly, if you have laziness or sluggishness or any kind of postponing mood, so you don't want to do anything now, so you can change that kind of attitude also. So what is more important in our life is our mind. So how much attention, how much concentration, how much awareness we pay to our mind. Mostly we pay our attention to outward things, not inward things. So that is why this chittanupassana is very important, seeing the mind and mind's phenomena, seeing how mind is working, the arising of the thoughts and sustaining these thoughts and passing away these thoughts. If you can aware of all these things, you can be very good meditator. You don't need to go to forest or to the jungle to do this kind of meditation. This will help you to overcome this kind of mental hindrances. So therefore, friends, I urge you and I suggest you that you try to understand these hindrances, and may you be able to succeed in your education, in your career, in your goals by using this good Buddhist concept for your development. You can use them for your day-to-day life success, day-to-day life's journey to get very good results. And also, if you use these 5 factors for spiritual enlightenment, you also can reach to spiritual enlightenment through practicing these, removing or abandoning these 5 hindrances. So may the Buddha, Dhamma and Sangha bless you and protect you and guide you. Namo Buddhaya. Sabbe satta bhavantu sukhi satta. May all beings be well and happy.
The Buddhist sermon for today was given by the Venerable Piyarathana Thero.